Let us start with the creatures that are least likely to attack humans, and then gradually work our way toward the most aggressive predators on the list. Number 17. Eagles. There has been only one documented case of an eagle attacking a human in recent history. Yet even one incident is already too many. That single fact is enough to remind us that we cannot take unnecessary risks. At this point, it may seem obvious that you would not stand a realistic chance against any apex predator. However, by the conclusion of this video, you will have gained knowledge that could allow you not only to defend yourself, but also to walk away victorious in some of these encounters. After all, knowledge is half of the battle, while the other half depends on circumstance and, at times, pure luck. Let us begin. Now imagine yourself in a one-on-one encounter with an eagle. Provided you are not a small child, you will not need to worry about being carried off to its nest. What you must focus on is immediate protection of your most vulnerable area, your head and your face. Eagles are known for targeting these areas almost exclusively. Use a shirt, jacket, backpack, or any available item to cover and shield yourself. But take care, do not completely obstruct your eyes, because you must be able to track the eagle's movement and anticipate its strike. As the bird sweeps down, raise your shield and let the talons sink into fabric or padding instead of skin. This may very well cause the eagle to collide directly with your defensive object, giving you the opportunity to act. Seize the chance to grab its body tightly with one arm, while using the other to control the head and beak. Holding the head immobilizes the bird and reduces its ability to injure you further. At that stage, whether you follow up with a forceful slam or simply restrain it before pushing it away is entirely your decision. The key lesson remains: protect your face, keep your eyes open, and control the dangerous parts, the talons and the beak. Number 16. Leopard seals. Surprisingly, these large marine animals are apex predators as well. Many people are not aware of this, yet it is true. In recent history, only 2 confirmed attacks on humans have been recorded, but one of those incidents was fatal. For that reason, it is not something to dismiss lightly. If you ever find yourself swimming in the Antarctic Ocean and a leopard seal targets you, the threat is real. Your first priority is to maintain constant visual contact with the animal. Keep your eyes fixed on the seal, because you must anticipate its movements at all times. Leopard seals rely primarily on 2 types of attack. The first is a bite and thrash, shaking prey violently. The second is a bite and drag, designed to pull a victim deeper underwater and drown them. Which tactic the animal uses may depend on your body type and how you are positioned in the water. If the seal does attempt to bite, respond immediately and aggressively. Use both hands to target its eyes and strike the snout with every bit of strength you can gather. Fists, elbows, or any hard object you might have with you. The goal is to convince the predator that you are not worth the effort or risk. If successful, the seal will almost certainly release you. The moment you are free, swim to land or any platform above the water as quickly as possible. Once on solid ground, the situation shifts dramatically. The seal's mobility is greatly reduced, while yours improves. At that point, you have effectively secured the advantage and can continue defending yourself until the animal retreats. The rule is straightforward. Never lose sight of the seal, target its sensitive areas, and escape from the water as quickly as circumstances allow. Number 15. Pythons. Unlike the other predators mentioned so far, this is one that you might be able to avoid entirely. In fact, pythons are unique on this list because you often have the option of simply walking away. Still, many people allow their pride to influence them, and in those cases, they decide to stand their ground and fight anyway. Only a handful of snake species in the world are considered apex predators, and the reticulated python is among the most notable. This snake can grow over 23 feet long and weigh up to 374 pounds. Those numbers may seem intimidating, and rightfully so, yet the approach to defending yourself is surprisingly clear. It is important to note that male pythons rarely grow beyond half that size, which makes them far less of a threat compared to the enormous females. Regardless, if you find yourself face to face with a python, the strategy remains the same. The first and most important rule is to keep the fight standing. There are two reasons for this. One, staying upright reduces the snake's ability to coil fully around you and constrict with maximum power. Two, maintaining your footing gives you leverage and prevents panic in front of onlookers who may otherwise lose confidence in your ability to fight back. Eventually, the python will attempt to coil around you. At that moment, focus on controlling its head with one hand. This minimizes the risk of being bitten. With your other hand, grab the tail and begin carefully unwrapping its coils from your body. By the time you reach this stage, much of the snake will already be wrapped around you, so patience and steady effort are key. Remove the coils one by one until the snake loosens enough for you to slide it off. Once free, push the python firmly away from your body. If the snake retreats, the fight is essentially over and you have won. If it comes back for another attempt, repeat the exact same steps, secure the head, unwrap the body, and push it away. The principle is consistent regardless of the snake's size. Deny it leverage, neutralize the head, and maintain control until you are safe. Number 14. Giant Otter. You could always walk away from this fight, and most times that would be the wise choice. Yet pride has a way of convincing us to stand our ground. Let us be honest. Are you really prepared to lose to a glorified weasel? If you have chosen to engage a giant otter, here is what you need to know. The giant otter is a powerful Amazon predator. It can reach up to 6 feet in length. Despite its deceptively fluffy appearance, it is aggressive and effective in combat, and it often hunts in groups. For the purposes of this video, we will assume a one-on-one encounter, so you will not face a pack. Begin by taking the fight to the ground. This is crucial. Giant otters are far more agile and dangerous in water or when using their low center of gravity to slip away. If you attempt to grapple while standing, their webbed feet and sleek bodies will work against you. Once on the ground, the otter will likely attack with sharp teeth, so you must act quickly and decisively. Secure the tail with one hand and the body with the other. Controlling the tail denies the otter a powerful lever to twist or propel itself. With a firm grip, lift the animal overhead as if preparing for a controlled throw. Use your full strength and momentum to hurl it onto the ground. The impact should stun the otter and break its immediate aggression. If the animal retreats, you have effectively won the encounter. If it returns, repeat the same steps. Control tail, secure the body, and use decisive force to stop the attack. Number 13. Hyenas. In parts of Africa, hyenas occasionally attack people who sleep outdoors during hot seasons. My aim is to give you tools to survive such an encounter. Imagine you are abruptly awakened in the night by the sound of crunching. Your leg has been bitten. You are now in a street fight, and survival will depend on how well you apply the following guidance. First and foremost, remain calm. Panic makes you predictable and vulnerable. Stand your ground and do not turn your back on the hyena. Presenting your back signals prey. Facing the animal removes that impression. Try to appear confident and dominant. If you cannot summon an intimidating posture naturally, mirror the hyena's actions. Step forward when it steps forward. Respond to its vocalizations with your own sounds, showing that you are alert and not an easy target. Often, a confident stance and assertive behavior will convince a lone hyena that the potential cost is not worth the reward, and it will withdraw. Note, some hyena species, such as spotted hyenas, can operate in large clans, sometimes many dozens strong. This guide addresses one-on-one situations only. Group attacks require different tactics and greater caution. Number 12. Orcas. You may be surprised to learn that, under certain conditions, orcas can be among the more predictable apex predators to encounter. That said, these are powerful, intelligent animals, and any encounter in open water must be treated with extreme seriousness. Picture yourself swimming in open ocean when a killer whale begins to breach nearby. The natural human reaction is to panic, and in many cases, panic precipitates worse outcomes. However, it is worth noting that human instinct, agitated movement, and noise can sometimes deter an orca that is merely curious or testing. That does not mean you should rely on panic as a strategy. If this confrontation occurs in a confined, unsupervised setting, such as an artificial enclosure used for demonstrations, your chances of surviving an aggressive interaction are slim. Those environments place humans at a severe disadvantage. In open water, your best options are to minimize splashing, make yourself appear larger and more difficult to handle, and seek rapid evacuation to a boat or shore if possible. Remember, orcas are highly social and intelligent. When they exhibit targeted aggression, it is rarely random. Avoidance and escape are the best strategies. If escape is impossible, focus on making continued contact costly and unproductive for the animal, while moving toward an exit or rescue opportunity as quickly as you can. Number 11. Komodo Dragons. Since 1974, there have been 24 documented Komodo dragon attacks on humans, including 5 fatalities. Today, we will walk through practical responses so you do not become one of those statistics. Imagine a Komodo dragon has chosen to engage you. First, know the animal. Komodo dragons are large, powerful lizards with a potent bite. Their saliva and venom can cause rapid complications. If you have the option to flee, do so. Komodo dragons tire relatively quickly and cannot sustain high speeds for long. They can reach bursts of about 13 miles per hour. A fit human sprinter can often exceed that briefly. If escape is possible, sprinting away, especially in unpredictable, angled bursts, can be an effective option. If escape is not possible and you must stand your ground, prioritize distance, mobility, and tactical positioning. Avoid direct frontal contact where the bite can reach you. When the dragon commits to a charge, move laterally in unpredictable patterns to frustrate its targeting. Force the animal to expend energy on failed strikes. Komodos are less effective after repeated high-energy lunges. If the dragon is temporarily exhausted or retreats, do not assume the threat is over until you have created a safe buffer and can reach help. If the animal remains aggressive and an opportunity to counterattack presents itself, act decisively to create space. Use anything available as a barrier. Keep the Komodo's head controlled if you can, and avoid prolonged close contact. In short, prefer flight if possible. If you must fight, use mobility, unpredictability, and immediate, decisive actions that force the animal to break off the engagement. Number 10. King Cobras. King Cobras cause a handful of human fatalities worldwide each year. A bite from a king cobra can be lethal, so avoidance is the first and best strategy. As with pythons, the choice to engage is yours, and walking away remains the safest option. If you unexpectedly corner a king cobra and the snake feels trapped, your first actions must be calm, slow, and deliberate. Sudden movements can provoke an immediate strike. Back away slowly to create space. Keep your hands visible and move in a steady, controlled manner until you are out of striking range. If you are in a region where people routinely handle snakes, where trained handlers are present, the correct course is to wait for an experienced person to intervene. In an open area, a king cobra will often seek to retreat rather than fight a larger, non-submissive opponent. The key is to avoid panic, minimize fast gestures, and withdraw methodically. If an unavoidable confrontation occurs, prioritize securing distance and signaling to others for help rather than attempting to wrestle the snake yourself. Number 9. Jaguars. Encountering a jaguar in the wild is serious business. Jaguars are powerful big cats with a capacity to deliver crushing bites. If you find yourself face-to-face with one, your initial goal is escape without triggering an attack. First, avoid direct eye contact, which a big cat can interpret as a challenge. Back away slowly while facing the animal, but do not turn your back. Rapid movement, sudden running, or crouching can provoke the cat's predatory response. For those who can't or won't withdraw, it becomes a test of mental warfare and presence. Make yourself appear as large and as assertive as possible. Raise your arms, hold up a jacket, backpack, or any object that increases your apparent size. Use a loud, firm voice to assert dominance. Slow, deliberate movements paired with vocalization can convince a jaguar you are not easy prey. If the cat attacks, protect your head and neck at all costs. Try to keep your feet underneath you so you can push, strike, and respond effectively. If the initial bite fails to incapacitate you, aggressive countermeasures aimed at the eyes and muzzle can cause the animal to break off. Strikes to the face, delivered with all available force, are among the few options that can convince a big cat to disengage. Many documented cases show that determined defense can prompt a jaguar to retreat. Number 8. Mountain lions. In North America, there have been roughly 30 fatal mountain lion attacks since 1868. Mountain lions are predominantly ambush predators. Yet there are documented cases, and many viral videos, where these cats engage humans directly. That head-on style of attack is the focus here. The most common error people make is underestimating the danger because the initial confrontation involved their dog. If you are alone, the dynamics change, and you can act with more control. First, do not break eye contact with the cat. Do not run, do not crouch, and do not turn your back. Running or sudden movement can trigger the cat's pursuit instinct. Begin the mental battle immediately. Shout loudly and firmly. Make yourself appear larger. Lift your shirt, jacket, backpack, or anything that increases your apparent size. Swing your arms to emphasize your motion and to show that you are not easy prey. These deliberate, assertive behaviors often convince a solitary mountain lion that the encounter is not worth the risk. If these measures fail and the cat remains committed, move slowly backward while keeping your face toward the animal. If the animal charges repeatedly, maintain your composure and avoid tripping. If you can do so safely, pick up a rock or sturdy object from the ground and throw it in the lion's direction to create a momentary distraction and break its focus. That pause can be your opportunity to retreat to safety. Note, group attacks are rare. This guidance is for a lone animal. Always prioritize avoidance and retreat when possible. Number 7. Alligators. Alligator attacks average around 10 to 15 reported incidents per year in the United States, with roughly 2 fatalities annually. Most occur in Florida and the Southeast. The safest rule is simple. In areas known to host alligators, do not enter the water. Avoid putting yourself in a situation where a confrontation could occur. If an alligator nevertheless engages you on land, you have options. One effective strategy is to bait the animal into a rapid lunge and then exploit its limited endurance. When an alligator charges in a short burst, sprinting in a straight line away from the animal forces it to expend energy. Repeating controlled sprints and short dodges can reduce its willingness to continue. Another tactic is to strike or kick the alligator's limbs to slow its forward momentum. Alligators have poor turning agility. Running around the animal in a wide arc can exploit that weakness and create space. Using anything at hand as a barrier or to distract the animal is also appropriate. The principle is to deny the alligator an efficient kill sequence by reducing its mobility and forcing it to disengage. Again, avoidance is the best policy. If you must confront one, emphasize speed, directional control, and disruption of the animal's momentum. Number 6. Bears. Roughly 40 people are attacked by bears each year in North America. Both grizzly bears and polar bears can be deadly, and each species requires different survival tactics. I will summarize both approaches so you understand the distinctions and appropriate responses. Grizzly bears. Grizzlies generally react aggressively when surprised, threatened, or when defending cubs. If you encounter a grizzly, avoid sudden movements and try to remain calm. If the bear shows signs of aggression and contact becomes unavoidable, the conventional advice is to play dead in certain contexts, curl into a fetal position, protect your vital organs, and remain motionless. The idea is to signal that you are not a threat and to encourage the bear to disengage. This tactic has worked in several defensive encounters, particularly when the bear's aggression is defensive rather than predatory. Polar bears. Polar bears present a different and far more dangerous profile. They are apex predators that may view humans as potential prey. Defensive strategies that work for grizzlies may not be effective against polar bears. If a polar bear aggressively targets you, do not expect the same play-dead result. Instead, attempt to appear large and assertive, and if attacked, fight back forcefully. Aim strikes at the eyes and nose with everything you have. There are documented cases where determined physical resistance has caused a bear to break off an attack, but these outcomes are uncertain and highly situational. A practical rule of thumb often cited in outdoor safety training is treat black bear encounters differently from brown grizzly bears. With black bears, aggressive defense can sometimes succeed. With grizzlies, playing dead can be the correct option in defensive attacks. Polar bears, given their predatory nature, generally require active resistance when attacked. Always seek to avoid close encounters and to carry appropriate deterrents, such as bear spray, when in high-risk regions. Number 5. Wolves. Since 2002, roughly 500 wolf attacks have been reported worldwide. This is a matchup worth understanding. Before we begin, a quick warning. Do not interpret this segment as an invitation to seek danger. My goal is to equip you with knowledge that could save your life. First, what you must never do, do not run. Wolves are agile and built for endurance. You are unlikely to outrun one. Do not bring your dog into wolf country. Pets can provoke wolves and escalate encounters. If a wolf attacks your dog, remove the animal from the area as quickly and safely as possible. When a direct confrontation begins, stand your ground and maintain eye contact. Make yourself appear large and intimidating. Use the usual tactics. Raise your arms, open your jacket, and adopt a firm, assertive posture. These signals tell the wolf you are not easy prey and often deter an attack. If the wolf charges and latches onto an arm, you must act decisively. Deliver forceful blows with your elbows and forearms to the animal's head, eyes, and snout. Aim to inflict discomfort and disorientation so the wolf disengage. If blunt strikes are ineffective, target the eyes directly by gouging or raking at them with hands or fingers. This is a last resort measure intended to create an opportunity to escape. Use everything you have available to force the animal to break contact and retreat. Number 4. Sharks. Sharks are responsible for an average of roughly 70 reported incidents worldwide each year. Encounters in the ocean are inherently risky, but with the right knowledge, you can improve your prospects. If you find yourself in the water with a shark nearby, remain as calm as possible. Slowly and deliberately move toward shore or a boat while maintaining visual contact. Sharks often rely on surprise. Holding eye contact can reduce the likelihood of an immediate strike. If a shark approaches aggressively, use your hands, legs, or any object to push its snout away. If it becomes persistent and turns back to attack, strike the shark's vulnerable areas, the eyes, gills, and snout. Use firm, focused blows rather than wild flailing. One documented defensive technique is to induce tonic immobility by momentarily flipping some sharks onto their backs. In certain species, this can cause a temporary state of paralysis, giving you a chance to escape. Note that this maneuver is difficult and dangerous on large sharks such as mature great whites. Flipping a large animal is often not feasible. With very large sharks, the safest outcome is to avoid entering the water in areas known for their presence, or to rely on boat-based rescue if an encounter occurs. Number 3. Tigers. Tigers account for around 100 human fatalities per year, primarily in parts of South and Southeast Asia. Encounters with tigers are extremely dangerous. Heed these guidelines seriously. First, avoid doing anything that would provoke a predatory response. Do not run, do not crouch, do not play dead. These actions can trigger an attack. Never approach a mother tiger with cubs. This risks being outnumbered and attacked in defense of her young. Also, avoid actions or scents that may be misinterpreted. For example, unusual behaviors can sometimes be provocative. If you do find yourself facing an aggressive tiger, stay calm and back away slowly while keeping the animal in view. Make yourself appear larger by raising your arms, opening clothing, or holding up any object you have. Speak loudly and firmly to demonstrate confidence. If the tiger attacks, defend yourself aggressively. Protect your head and neck at all costs. Use any available tools, rocks, sticks, or improvised weapons to strike the tiger's face, eyes, and ears. Targeting the eyes and muzzle may force the animal to release its grip. There are documented cases where sustained, focused resistance has caused a big cat to break off an attack. If you are being dragged or pinned and can safely do so, you can attempt to induce a gag reflex by forcing a limb or object into the animal's mouth. This is an extreme measure and highly risky, but it has reportedly worked in isolated incidents. As a final option, if escape becomes possible, climb the nearest tree. Tigers are not adept climbers and may abandon pursuit. Number 2. Lions. Lions are responsible for hundreds of human attacks each year. This is not a scenario to underestimate. First, what you must not do: do not run, do not crouch, do not lie down, do not play dead, and do not climb a tree. Those actions instantly make you an easy target. Begin with mental warfare. Project dominance. Make yourself look as large and imposing as possible. Raise your arms, open your jacket, or hold up any object that increases your apparent size. Use a loud, steady voice to assert control. If these measures do not deter the animal, a pride or a solitary male may use a staged charge, stopping a few meters away to gauge your reaction. Treat that as a test. Hold your ground and do not flinch. If the lion commits to a full attack and aims for your neck, keep your hands up to protect your head and throat. If the attack connects and the animal latches onto an arm, chest, or leg, transition immediately to aggressive defensive actions. Deliver repeated, controlled strikes, elbows, fists, uppercuts, and blows with any available rocks or sticks, aimed at the eyes, ears, and muzzle. Focused, painful strikes to these sensitive areas often force a predator to release its grip. Many documented survivals involve improvised weapons or thrown rocks that interrupt the cat's focus. Equally important is determination. Sustained, forceful defense conveys that you are not easy prey. With disciplined resistance and rapid, targeted strikes, you improve your chance of forcing the animal to withdraw and creating an opportunity to retreat to safety. Number 1. Crocodiles. Crocodiles cause more human fatalities annually than almost any other large predator. In some regions, the annual death toll can number in the hundreds or more. This matchup demands respect and caution. First, what you must not do not enter waters known to be inhabited by crocodiles, and do not loiter near the water's edge. Most incidents occur when people are too close to where crocodiles hunt. If a saltwater crocodile or a large Nile crocodile has locked onto you, maintain distance whenever possible. Crocodiles rely on short, explosive charges. Their initial burst covers a limited distance before they need to recover. One effective immediate response is to force the animal into repeated short chases by sprinting in a straight line when it lunges. This exploits the crocodile's limited endurance and may deplete its capacity for sustained bursts. While it is dangerous to approach a crocodile, if escape is not immediately possible, use anything at hand to disrupt its focus. Throw objects to distract it. Create barriers or aim for the sensitive areas around the eyes and nostrils. If the animal momentarily withdraws or hesitates, use that window to move to higher ground or out of reach as quickly as you can. Do not expect prolonged close-quarters combat to end cleanly. Crocodiles are powerful and optimized for ambush strikes in water and at the waterline. The objective is always to deny the animal an efficient kill sequence, maximize distance, force repeated bursts that drain its stamina, and create distractions to gain an escape opportunity. In short, avoid crocodile habitats, never approach the water's edge in crocodile country, and if contact occurs, prioritize sprinting to safety, disrupting the animal's attack pattern, and escaping to secure ground as soon as possible.